Hey everyone, I'm going to be reading August 30 entry from Hope for Today, Courage to Change, and One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. August 30 is on page 243 on all three books. So if you want to follow me along, feel free if you have the books, a book or two, or all three of them, or if not, feel free to listen as well. Okay, I'm going to be reading from Hope for Today first. Here goes. The rustling leaves outside my window betray the presence of a visitor. It's a chickadee, enjoying the sun. I stand watching, yet fearing the loss of time from doing so. I envy her unhurried preening, an obvious pleasure she takes in rubbing her head against her feathers, fluffing them out and then returning them to their correct place. Not like my morning routine, I think, as I rush to get ready for work, ironing, showering, and coaxing my hair into some presentable form. I am brought back to the window by the persistent shaking of a leaf under the first bird, revealing a second I hadn't noticed before, and then a third and the fourth on the branch nearby. Again I feel jealous. They have so much time to do each task, getting ready for their day. I'm getting ready for my day too, but I'm not calm like they are. Then I laugh. I've just detached for 10 minutes from my too busy life to watch some birds just for pleasure. Before the program, I never would have noticed these diminutive specks of pure movement. The lessons I'm learning in Al-Anon are finally taking root. My mind is now calm enough to notice them. Appreciation for their uncomplicated life seeps into my soul, echoing my need for simplicity and restoring my sense of balance. Today I have a choice. I can seclude myself from the outside world, or I can slow down and appreciate it. I can feel the sights and rhythms deep down and allow them to nourish my soul, trusting that everything under the sun is in my higher power's care. Thought for the day. In Al-Anon, I've learned to savor the tiny, specific, beautiful moments of my life. I will set my problems to the side for a while and appreciate what it means to be vitally alive. Wow, that's a really nice and simple, reassuring reading. Moving on to Courage to Change, August 30, page 243. Normally, my sponsor would recommend a gratitude list when I felt low, but one day, when I complained about a family situation, he suggested, that I list all the things I was unhappy about. Several days later, my depression had passed, and when I told my sponsor about the terrific day I was having, he suggested a gratitude list. He thought it might help me to refer to it the next time I felt blue. That made sense to me, so I complied. When I went to put this new list in the drawer where I keep my papers, I noticed the earlier list and read it once more. Excuse me. To my surprise, my list of grievances was almost identical to my gratitude list. The same people, same house, same life. Nothing about my circumstances had changed except the way I felt about them. For the first time, I truly understood how much my attitude dictates the way I experience the world. Today's reminder. Today, I recognize how powerful my mind can be. I can't always feel good, and I have no interest in whitewashing my difficulties by pasting a smile on my face. But I can recognize that I am constantly making choices about how I perceive my world. With the help of Al-Anon and my friends in the fellowship, I can make those choices more consciously and more actively than ever before. Quote, Change Your Thoughts and You Change Your World by Norman Vincent Peale. Wow. I really like that. That's a good reminder about gratitude and perspective. I like that it says, today I recognize how powerful my mind can be. I can't always feel good, and I have no interest in whitewashing my difficulties by pasting a smile on my face, but I can recognize that I am constantly making choices about how I perceive my world. Change your thoughts. I can make those choices more consciously and more actively than ever before. That's really good. Alright, next reading from One Day at a Time. Page 243, excuse me. When a family situation becomes really desperate and we think we just can't go on another day living in uncertainty, fear, deprivation, and general misery, we may decide to take action. That's good. But what action? So much depends on taking the right course. Let me consider. Is my present frame of mind, whether of anger, bitterness, or confusion, one in which I can make a wise choice? Have I yielded too readily to friendly advice, well meant but based only limited knowledge of all the factors? Let me read that again. Have I yielded too readily to friendly advice, well meant but based on only limited knowledge of all the factors? Today's reminder. If I have come to the end of my road, I have lived in this turmoil for a long time. Let me be patient a little longer while I weigh the alternatives. Will a radical change really work out better for me, for my children, and yes, for my spouse? Before I make a decision or take a step, I will redouble my efforts to apply the Al-Anon program. It could bring me to an entirely different, more constructive solution than the drastic ones I was considering. Quote, make sure that the medicine you decide on in a rash and desperate moment doesn't turn out to be worse than the malady. All right. This is a really good reading as well. Thank you for, if you're still listening, thank you so much for reading these with me. Really appreciate it. If you can hit subscribe so I can continue reading these. Once I hit a year, I will go by topic. So that's pretty exciting. Because I definitely need these as well. So if you don't have a sponsor, I strongly recommend you get a sponsor or go to 12-step meetings. That also helps me. And you are worth it. Keep coming back. It works when you work it, and you are worth it. And yeah, God bless, and I will read to you again another day. Bye. Have a great day.